Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So it has been a while since we've just sat down and done a makeup tutorial. I haven't really had any super up-to-date palettes that with my schedule I wanted to do videos with. It's been really difficult to film, but two things. First of all, intro. Second of all, I finally found a palette that is completely amazing and I am excited about. I'm not gonna lie to you. The company did reach out to me. I've seen one of their other palettes. I really never got around to it. I'll still be doing a video on it eventually, but it is a new dupe company and y'all know I love me some good dupes. So we got a dupe palette and look how pretty it did my eyeshadow. You get 1, 2, 3 to guess which dupe this is. If you didn't, it is a dupe for the Natasha Denona Gold palette. And y'all, look. Exactly the same color scheme. Lined up pretty similar, not identical. Good size mirror, nice packaging, all embossed, super cute. Natasha Denona is $129. No, this is $16. Guess what your girl went for? So first of all, let me show you some quick swatches. Okay, so here are some swatches just so you can see how they look. Some of the mattes don't swatch super well. Swatches are not the end all be all. But those metallics, y'all, what is that? Anyways, back to the video. Okay, so keeping in mind that swatches are not everything, the swatches are pretty good for the most part. A few mattes are a little lacking, which I said in the swatch clip. But the palette performed pretty well. We'll get into that at the very end. But yeah, this company is really good. They've only got 2 palettes out right now. It is this and then a dupe for the Anastasia Sultry palette, which I will do a side-by-side comparison. I couldn't with this one because your girl didn't have $129 to buy a Natasha Denona palette. But I will do a side-by-side with the Sultry and the Temptress palette to see how they perform when put head-to-head. But for this one, we just did a cute little makeup tutorial. I know it's a little rough. I'm getting back into things. Sorry, guys. But we did a makeup tutorial. We're going to see how we feel. Link is in the description to purchase the palette along with a discount code. You're welcome. And yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and jump straight into our tutorial. Okay, so y'all know me well enough by now to know my first move is going to be to go into Hera. This is a nice neutral color. I am just going to use it for setting everything down. I already used some finishing powder, but this is just going to be my first layer in the crease to work on top of. It is a nice, subtle, nothing too crazy. And we're just going to layer it up until it's got a little bit of a shade there, but like not too much. It's there, but it's not going to be overpowering. So I don't want this to be the star of the show. That title is reserved. So we're just going to do this on the other eye slowly. This is a big fluffy brush. It's from Farrah. The 65E large shading brush. Most of the brushes I'm using are going to be brushes I got in subscriptions because that's what's in front of me. So that's what you get. Now that we're done with that, I'm going to take, oh, here we go. I'm going to take this brush, which is from Alamar Cosmetics. This came in BoxyCharm too. I think the Farrah might have come in Ipsy. This came in Boxy. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to grab Oh, the choices. Okay, we're gonna go crazy today because I want to scare people at Walmart. Y'all know my deal. I think the shade is called Gaia. Right here, it's this dark, deep teal, maybe? I don't know, but it's really pretty. And I'm just gonna put that into the crease right on top of that brown from Hera, which is gonna diffuse it out a little bit, help it blend, and also just make sure that it's not too bright, but it's definitely still there. I don't want the crease to be too crazy. If this goes how I'm intending, the lid will be the star. But we're just gonna pull it here, and so far this pigmentation is really good. Let's be real, I've never used Natasha Denona. Or is this Natasha? My brain's only halfway working. Anyways, I've never used the original palette. I don't know how it performs. All I know is it is insanely out of my price range, and this was not. So far so good. I really like how it's performing. It's blending well. If it doesn't blend as well on this side, do not blame the palette. Y'all know this is always my crusty eye for some reason. Not literally crusty, but for some reason this eye just never cooperates as well as my right eye. Just a thing. We don't judge makeup if my left eye is a little crazy. So we're going to darken up my right eye a little bit since that one did get a little out of hand. And just make sure that they kind of match. They're not going to be identical. That's all right. Then we are going to take this other brush, and yes, I'm cleaning as I go on my cleaner. This is a Luxie brush. It doesn't have a name on it. It's kind of a flat shader. And we're going to take Avalon. This is the dark brown. And we are just going to stamp it in this outer corner, just like I always do. And we're going to get this outer corner real deep. And once we have it where we want it, we'll start to blend. And I'm making sure to go slowly because I don't want it to get too deep. So don't think the palette doesn't have pigmentation just because that took a few dips. I just don't want to go overboard because I know me. And if I'm not careful, I will destroy the whole look. So same thing over here. Just laying it down, just like so, not half, maybe about a third of the lid, pulling it up a little bit on the outer corner, just like so, and blending it over, and making sure that they sort of match. And how this part right here looks won't be too big of a deal. We're going to cover most of it up in just a second. But before we do that, I don't want to use this brush. We are going to take this little angled brush. This is a Luxie brush as well. We're going to pick up a little bit of Gaia again. That is our bluish shade. And we are just going to dust that on this lower lash line. We're using a smaller brush so that we can't go too crazy. Sometimes I use a big brush, and when I do, I'm smoked down on my entire under eye, and I do not want to do quite that today. So we just added that greenish blue teal to the bottom, and that's all we're going to do with this part. Now we are going to go into Artemis first, right here. This is, first of all, gorgeous. And we're going to lay this pretty much in the center of the lid, dragging it over to that darker brown. And holy goodness, this is beautiful. But this goes with our green shade we have in the crease. That was completely dry, just with my finger. And that pigment is so pretty. Oh my god. I couldn't imagine that the brand name version of this could perform too much better. Not enough to convince me to spend all of that money instead of how much this one cost. But you know, maybe. But I will say that this one is performing wonderfully. So now that we got that on there, we are going to scoot on over to Valkyrie right here. This is a almost green gold that I'm very curious about. Yes, I know my nails are ratchet. I need my nails done, but I'm going to get new nail polish soon. And on the remainder of the lid, we are just going to pop this gold. I know, this look is all over the place, and y'all know that I'm also all over the place. Don't be shocked. So we're just going to place this all throughout there, making it kind of mesh together. So in the center we get more of a green, so blue to green to gold. All the way across, completely dry, no concealer, this is straight. Technical difficulties. Anyways, this is how I like to test shadow without any aid, any help. No eyeshadow primer, no MAC paint pot, no nothing to give it an edge. Like always, that way I can see what the shadow can really do on its own, which I think is super important. So now that we have that, I'm going to dip into Avalon, that's our dark brown, with my finger and just darken up this outer corner now that I can really see how dark it needs to be. And that's something important too. You can use matte shades on your finger, you just have to be cautious with them. A lot of people are scared to do that, but sometimes it gives you the best pigment, and honestly it's the easiest way to blend if you're just going straight across the lid to me. Maybe I'm crazy, who knows, but that's what I like to do. And then we are going to use a brush for this part. I'm going to take this little baby Morphe brush here and dip it into, we're going to go into Pandora, this top shade here, and we are going to take that in the inner corner to give us a pop. It's a little more gold than I would usually go for. I thought about using Freya, which is the white shade, but I didn't know if it was going to give off exactly the feel I was going for. And by the way, this applies really well with a brush too. Who would have thought? But that is it for our eye look. I'm going to go finish up all this and put on some lipstick, and we will be right back to tell you how I felt. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. This eye is significantly better. Sorry about that, I'm challenged. Anyways, so first of all, these shadows are super pigmented. The metallics are amazing. I applied them all dry with no primer, with my finger, and with a brush in the inner corner. And they still came out pretty and they blended well. I'm impressed. So we're going to zoom out so I can talk for a minute without feeling so exposed. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, I think this palette is phenomenal. I would definitely recommend it, as I've said. I've never used a Natasha Denona palette. I have used a single eyeshadow. I wasn't that impressed. Not impressed enough that I would spend $129 when I could spend $16. That's crazy to me. I don't know why anybody would spend that much on a palette. If I spend that much, I'm going to need it to do my makeup for me. Just my personal opinion. I love makeup more than a lot of people, but I got to budget in my bills first, and that's an electric bill, y'all. I don't know. So overall, I would so completely recommend this palette. I do have a discount code. The link and my code for 10% off are going to be in the description. Yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry I've been so behind. The second job is no more, so I am back. I'm going to get back into filming my 3 videos a week as soon as possible. Right now I'm working on catching up on some videos I had planned that I never got around to. And since this palette just launched, I got it in the mail about a week and a half ago, I decided I would go ahead and get it up so you guys could see what the tea is, and a good alternative to the gold palette, because I'm really feeling it, and I wanted the gold palette. I loved the color scheme so much. I literally did almost drop that much money. I just couldn't do it. And then Alter Ego told me they were coming out with this one, and I was down. So if you order it, be sure to let me know. If you do any looks with it, be sure to tag me in them. Send them to me however you want. My socials are always down in the description as well. You can tag me on Insta. I would love to see them. Don't forget, I've got a couple of giveaways going right now. All you know about is the 5K. There's another one coming up soon that's going to be a quicker giveaway than that. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I cannot wait to start talking to y'all on a regular basis again. And if you have any ideas for content you'd like to see, let me know in the comments. Leave me a like, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, you guys.